Hello my lovelies and welcome to episode 9 of the Books, Hooks and Yarn video podcast. This is a podcast mostly about yarn and knitting, sometimes crochet, sometimes sewing, sometimes yarn dyeing, bit of smattering of bits and pieces, but mostly knitting. I'm a beginner knitter. My name is Crystal. I live in the southeast of Victoria with my husband, my 2 young daughters, and a cat. We are down to a cat. We have been getting used to being a 1-cat family now with no other pets, and it is odd. It's an adjustment. I have once again moved locations because we've just come out of a 5-day snap lockdown here in Victoria again, and we had to do remote learning during 3 of those days. So I've got stuff everywhere from doing that with my eldest daughter who's in grade 1, and my knitting area where my desk and everything has just kind of got washing and stuff everywhere, and it's just a bit of chaos. So thought I'd relocate here, but that's okay because I decided in all my wisdom during lockdown that that's the perfect time to sort out some books and stuff, and I actually decided to put some on display along with my Beauty and the Beast stuff because that's my favorite Disney movie. My nickname is actually Belle. And I actually really love it because I've got quite a few books out there that I want to reread, ones I haven't read yet, and I figure if I put them there and they're constantly there, I might actually get around to reading them. Anyway, what a week to be in lockdown. It has been absolutely stunning. Today is beautiful 32 degrees. In saying that I'm not having tea or coffee today, I have got a cranberry raspberry soda water, which is really nice. It's quite refreshing. So that's what I'll be having today. I decided to do a little bit of makeup because I have been living in, well, I wanted to stay in my pajamas for the full 5 days, but I did actually force myself to get dressed each day, so that was a win, I figured. But I figured I would make a little bit more effort today. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that's been watching lately. People have been watching and liking and subscribing and commenting and recommending on Instagram, and it means the world to me. I am so thankful to everyone. Thank you so much. I literally do this because, well, I think my husband and my friends were a bit sick and tired of hearing about it, to be honest. I picked this up as a hobby to do during our first lockdown in Victoria at the start of last year. I'd learned as a child and I picked it up again, and I made my daughters 2 very awful throw rug blankets. They were horrific though. The tension was way too loose in them, but I loved how busy it was, and I loved creating something, and I loved having my hands busy while we were doing other things. So it was wonderful. And I've just kind of picked it up and gone with it from there. And it's become sort of an obsession. And so I started my video podcast to just have a chance to talk about this craft that I have learnt is just so, it's empowering. I love being able to make things for people from my own hands and see how much they appreciate them and how much I love wearing my own things out and about as well. And the community, the knitting community, is so welcoming and so friendly, and I feel very thankful to be part of it. So just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone, because this is just like a little hobby that I've just picked up and wanted to share my thoughts about, and it's nice that people are appreciating it. So thank you. I am 3 days late doing the podcast this fortnight because of the lockdown. Today's Friday, the 19th of February. I was supposed to do it on Tuesday, the 16th, but I had my daughter home, and I just figured I would just put it off until I had a day in the house by myself. My eldest had a curriculum day yesterday as well, so I couldn't even do it yesterday. I had to wait till today. But that was okay because we went to the movies and it was lovely. And you would think with 3 extra days I would have a bunch of finished objects to show you, and I really don't. I don't know what's been happening. I have been knitting so much and I have barely anything done. It is so weird. So I guess we will jump straight into the very few finished objects that I do have. So it's 2 beanies again. I know I had quite a few beanies to show last podcast, but this time it was just kind of finishing off the family collection before Easter camping, even though I don't think it's going to be cold, assuming we're allowed to go. We'll wait and see. But this is my husband's beanie. Oh, so soft. I don't want to show you that side because you can see where I changed colors. It's so frustrating. Okay, I'll show you this side instead. He's not going to care. I'll just make sure that's always at the back of his head. So he chose his color schemes. This is the Bendigo Woollen Mills Nomad in the dark green. So I got these on sale early last year. And this top creamy color is the same one, Nomad in Fawn. So they are both 12 ply, and they are 36% wool, 55% acrylic, and 9% mohair. Thankfully, the mohair, I think, negates the acrylic a bit because it is very, very soft and very, very squishy, and he loves it. I didn't make him a very tight-fitting beanie because he likes to be able to feel like he can breathe a bit, I guess. He just doesn't like things tied up against his skin, which makes me wonder if that's where my eldest daughter gets that from, actually. So yeah, no pom-pom for him. He didn't want one. Makes me sad. I love a good pom. This is the, I've made so many of them and now I'm drawing, no, Pull the Wool Over hat by Espace Tricot. No one's corrected me on that, so I'm assuming I'm saying it correctly. It's got the 4x4 ribbing, and then you just follow the pattern. It's free on Ravelry. I actually have memorized it and I had printed it out, so I actually passed it along to my mother-in-law so she could try and make one herself because she wants to learn how to make a beanie. So I absolutely love it. I love this pattern. I've just been making it non-stop. And I made another one, which looks even bigger than this one, but it's not. It's just very loose. I wanted to make a looser fit beanie that you could flip the brim up on. And it's going for a little boy who's just turned 6. So I wanted him to be able to have room to grow. And we have always joked that he has got a big head. He doesn't really. It's just, you know, he's a boy. We just joke about things like that, I guess. What else do you joke about with little boys? I don't know. I've got daughters. But he's basically like, well, he's my nephew. He's my best friend's little boy. And he's 2 weeks younger than my daughter, and we were pregnant at the same time, and they've grown up their entire lives, and it's wonderful. So I like to make things for him and his older sister, and it was his birthday, and I wanted to have it done by his birthday, but then we went to snap lockdown, and I didn't actually get to see him for his birthday, so I had a little bit of extra time to finish it. Now, my question is, I want to put a pom on it, but I'm not sure how that works for boys. I think this will look absolutely gorgeous with it. Let me find the little, there it is. So that is what it would look like. It's really hard to judge when it's not actually on. But I think that would look cute. And he's 6, like surely 6-year-old boys can wear poms. Like this isn't a purely feminine thing, is it? Is that, or am I thinking of that wrong? Like I think poms are unisex, and I just figure my husband just doesn't like them, so that's why I've never put them on his stuff. But surely boys wear these too, yeah? Like they're not a girl thing, are they? I don't know, let me know. Just painted my nails today and I've already chipped one. It's time to get them redone, and I didn't want to be without nail coverings for the weekend before I get them done next week, sorry. Alright, so that's all I've got for finished objects. So I guess we must be up to works in progress. I feel like I have so many works in progress going at the moment. I don't know what's going on. A massive case of castonitis, I reckon. Just move these. Sorry for the crinkle. All right, where to start? I haven't made much progress on my daughter's skull top. I've finished the red and I've started the purple. I figure I'll finish the purple. I'll finish like the body section. And then I'll get back to you guys because I'm not entirely sure how I want to proceed with the straps. So once I get that done, I'll come back to you guys and ask you for your advice and see what you think. In the meantime, I took my daughters to the movies yesterday. We went and saw The Croods A New Age, very good, very funny. I felt a bit silly that it was only myself and my daughter, 2 other people in cinema, and I'm like snort laughing at sections because I just found it funny, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't be in here laughing at a kids movie. But I took my sock with me and I knitted on that while I was in there, so that was really cool. So last time I showed you guys, actually couldn't tell you where I was up to. Had I even started this last episode? I don't remember. Or maybe I just cast it on. I really don't remember. So yeah, this is the matching sock to my other blue one. I still have, I think, 15 rounds or so to go on the leg, and then I'll start the heel flap and everything, and the foot and the toes. There we go. I'm using my cat stitch marker from Obsession Yarns. I absolutely love it. I've gotten quite a few charms from yarn orders from Marie, and I've been using them non-stop lately. Oh, sorry, I had it around the wrong way. It's like a little geometric kitty. It's not just plain. There it is. It's very sweet. I love it. I love anything cats, honestly. So yeah, that's all I've gotten done so far. It's abysmal. I don't know. What's happened is I've put this in my bag to take with me when my daughters do ballet classes. So one does it for half an hour, the other one does it for 45 minutes, and they're back to back. So I'm there for an hour and 15 minutes. And see the teacher brain quickly doing the math. And like as cute as they are, and I love them dearly. This isn't their first time doing ballet. Unfortunately, they are repeating a year because of last year. Like they didn't get to, I think they only did like 6 weeks or something last year before COVID got in the way of their classes. So the first 6 weeks are going to be a bit repetitive, but that's okay. I'll just sit there knitting. Eventually, they get to weeks where they don't get observed. Like I just drop them off and I sit in my car and wait for them to finish, and I reckon I'll get a lot more knitting done then. But this is the longest it's taken me to finish a pair of socks. I'm enjoying it though. I like kind of just having a sock sitting there ready to knit on whenever I just need to pick up and do some stitches. It's wonderful. And well, it's not the only sock I've got on the go. I'm still working on my daughter's shorty socks. This is still the first one. So last time, that's my little pumpkin there from, actually I think that's from Obsession Yarns too. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it is. That's where I was up to last time. I'd only done that much of the cuff, and I've done the foot, which wasn't much, not the foot, the leg, which wasn't much because they're just going to be just above our ankles. I've done the heel, and I'm just doing the gusset decreases. This yarn, which is beautiful, it's the pre-dyed sock yarn from Bendigo Woollen Mills. I'll pop the colorway here because I've lost the tag. It's beautiful to knit with. It's so lovely and soft. She loves the feel of it, but it feels very fine for a sock yarn, especially compared to their undyed sock yarn that I dyed. Like, feels like a fair amount of difference. Yeah? I don't know. It just feels like it is when they reckon they're both 4-ply, which obviously is just how many plies are in the yarn. But yeah, I love knitting. I'm loving seeing these color changes. I didn't realize it was going to be this sort of fade style. It's absolutely beautiful. Oriental flowers. It's oriental flowers. It's been driving me crazy. All right, that's that. So that's my 2 socks I've got on the go. Oh, there's no project in this bag. Pulled it out thinking I had a project in it, and I don't. That's because I had the beanie in there because I haven't decided if I'm going to put a pom on it yet. That's why. All right. So I guess the last thing I've been actively working on. Sorry, I'm just going to take a mouthful. It's refreshing, but it's a little bit tart. And sometimes it hits me more than others. I am doing the sock head cowl. So there's a sock head beanie that I actually want to make for my mum because she's not a beanie person because she thinks they're too restricting. She's got really crazy thick hair that's wavy and it's actually getting curlier as she gets older. She just doesn't think she's a beanie person, and I'm determined to prove her wrong, and I think the sock head beanie would be the perfect way to do it. But I did a custom order with Marie from Obsession Yarns for some beautiful mohair, kid silk mohair. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. And I needed, so this is it balled up, this is it skeined. So there's, like, you can see the colours even better when it's balled up, but it's beautiful both ways. And I needed a colourway to complement it, and I was just straight away onto websites and looking at buying like a nice light grey, or maybe an off-white or a cream, or like, oh, I was actually thinking maybe a nice soft silver or a nice soft blue or something. And then I realized I had the perfect sock yarn in my collection already. This is from Stitchcraft and Wizardry, from their Beatrix Potter inspired collection. I'd forget my own head if I wasn't always wearing it. And their House Elf Liberty base, 85% superwash extra fine merino and 15% nylon. So that's what we are working with to go with my Candy Fluff from Obsession Yarns, which is 75% kid mohair, 25% mulberry silk, and it is 420 meters to 50 grams. I ordered 100 grams of it because it's a custom order, so you've got to do at least 100 grams. And who wouldn't want 100 grams of this? It's so soft and so pretty, and both of them together are creating this amazing cloud of just, can you see that halo? Look at that. I never understood this whole halo thing. I was just, people would do it in other podcast stuff. I'm like, but it just looks fuzzy. What's the deal with wanting to have fuzzy items? And now that I'm knitting it and it's like on my skin, and I'm just like, okay, I understand now. That's fine. Fluff away. So yes, I did make some modifications already. From doing the pull the wool over hat, I'm just obsessed with a 4x4 rib. I just like how stretchy it is. I like knitting it. I like the look of it. Oh, it could almost be a beanie. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted today. Oh no, maybe it couldn't almost be a beanie. Oh, not bad. And I didn't make the ribbing as long as it was supposed to, because while I do love knitting it, I have my limits with ribbing. Like, I'm not going to sit there and just knit ribbing in this for forever. Like, yeah, that was it. I think I did 15 rounds of ribbing instead of, I think it was supposed to be 10 centimeters. Seems like a lot of ribbing. But yes, I love it. So I weighed my yarn. It was recommended the pattern that you weigh your yarn after you finished your ribbing. Oh, I've got such a long tail. To see when you need to stop. And that way you can just basically keep knitting until you get to that weight, and then you can do your ribbing and you're done. So I used, I think it was 3 grams of the mohair, and if I assume this was 100 grams, then I used 5. But Stitchcraft and Wizardry, I tend to get about 101, 102 grams. So I'm going to say I had used 7 and just be generous. And that way, if I've got a little bit left over, I've got a little bit left over. That's not so bad. Better that than to run out and have to play yarn chicken. I really don't want to do that. Well, it's the point of weighing my yarn just to end up having to play yarn chicken. No, thank you. So this is basically my sit and knitting at the moment, because it's literally just round after round after round of stocking stitch. I knit this when I'm listening to my girl do her reader. I'm knitting this when I'm watching TV, when I'm waiting for something to cook, when I'm just filming myself. I'm just loving knitting this. It is great. So yeah, I actually sat up a little bit later than I planned to last night, just going one more round, one more round, one more round. Because while it is very relaxing to do the same stitch over and over, it doesn't grow very fast. So I could sit there for half an hour and feel like I've been knitting for forever, and look down and I've done maybe 5 rounds. But that's okay. It'll get there and it will be glorious when it's finished. I am using another stitch marker that I got from Obsession Yarns. Beautiful Marie. It is a little bird and it is beautiful. I'm not going to be able to see it because I didn't want to put my knitting down to show you. Oh, it's around the wrong way. There we go. Ah, it's not going to work. I can't do this, guys. A little bird. And it's a bit cute. I really love Marie stitch markers. I don't know what it is about them, but they are all just beautiful and they're easy to use and they're the perfect weight for knitting, which is just wonderful. So I can put that away because otherwise I will just sit here and keep going. So that is all I'm actively working on. I did have something fairly exciting to show you, but at the same time, a little bit frustrating. So I guess technically this is a finished object, but it's not knitting. I made another project bag. I'll grab it. Here it is. It is huge. I made it out of an old pillowcase and some fat quarter fabric. There's also, so at my local spotlight they have fat quarters and flat fats. So there was a massive sale on both when I went and grabbed this fabric, and I can't remember which one I grabbed. So I think this is a fat quarter, fairly certain. So yeah, that's what I've got. It's got no pockets on the inside, but that's okay because I've got my Notions patch in here from Melbourne City Dye Wax. And I started a swatch for the Bright Side jumper from Espace Tricot again because their designs are beautiful. I know technically I've been knitting that in the round, and I know some people say your tension is slightly different from knitting in the round and knitting flat, and that's fine. I'm willing to give it a risk. Like I'm using this, it's very soft, it's very squishy, but it is 100% acrylic that I got from Oz Yarn, and it's just, I figure it's my first jumper. There are going to be mistakes. Chances are it's going to end up with holes and stuff in it. I just wanted something that I'm willing to make mistakes with. I don't mind when there's mistakes in my knitting, but like I want to just knit this jumper and see how I go with it and see if it's my kind of thing before spending quite a lot of money on pure wool to knit a jumper with, because I am a larger person. Like obviously I'm a person, but I wear a larger size, and to knit a lot of jumpers, depending on what the size range is like, sometimes I'm in a large or an extra large, sometimes I'm in the 2XL. It depends on what the measurements are for the finished object. And a lot of the times those sizes require like a kilo of yarn. So that's like 100 gram skeins. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't really afford 10 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. So while I would love to be able to do that one day, while I'm learning, not so much. So yeah, but anyway, I started my swatch and I realized I hate bamboo needles with this yarn. So I am purchasing some stainless steel ones. I'm actually thinking, now that I'm back at work, I might save up and wait and just put this off for a little bit and buy an interchangeable set, because I need 2 different sizes for this pattern. I need a 4 and a 4.5, but I need 3 different cord lengths. So I don't know how you would actually change the cord length while you're knitting though. Surely there's a method to it. Probably. I would have to look that up. If you know, let me know. That would be great. Save me the Google. All right, so yeah, let's just get a drawstring. It's got every single skein of yarn in there for it. I think there's actually 14 skeins in there. I don't think I only put 10 in there because that was all I had of that color. I figured I'd just throw them all in together. So yeah, it is a beautiful olivey green color. It is very, very soft. It does say hand wash only, but I have found a lot of the time with 100% acrylic, I just throw it in the washing machine and it ends up fine. So we might hand wash it the first couple of times after I made it, and then we'll wait and see how we go. But that is it for my works in progress. I am up to pretty new things, and I have quite a few this episode because I participated in my first ever wool swap, and it was amazing. I'm signing up on the 1st of March for the next one because I really enjoyed the experience. I was paired with Cass from Skiprope Yarn. Hey, they have some seriously stunning yarns. You guys need to go check them out. Cass's yarn is absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed talking to her and like exchanging, like we set a spend limit, like a value limit for what we were sending. And like I didn't want to ask her too many specific questions. I really wanted to go off what she'd put in her application form because I figured if I asked too many questions, like do you prefer tea or coffee or things, that she would kind of know what was coming in her package, and I didn't really want to tip her off. I wanted it to be a complete and utter surprise, so it was like really lovely when she opened it. All right, so I forgot to take a photo of what I sent her, but if you go to Cass's Instagram page, she took a reel and put it on her Instagram. So if you want to check it out, you can look there. But basically I sent her a skein, 100-gram skein from Stitchcraft and Wizardry of a really beautiful purple yarn because she likes purples, blues and pinks and stuff like that. I also jumped on to Obsession Yarns because Marie sells this beautiful, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, Donegal, I don't know, but it's that beautiful yarn with like the little flecks of something in it. I actually have no idea, but I got that in a beautiful green color. I know green wasn't on her thing, but it was like a tealy greeny color, and I just, for some reason, it's just screamed Cass to me, so I grabbed it. I also gave her an elfin mohair from Bendigo Woollen Mills that I had in my stash because I've got one and I figured she could have one and hopefully she'll use it and then I'll be inspired to use it for something. I actually think I might dye that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Maybe Cass will give me some ideas. And a dot journal because I know they're very handy for writing down knitting things, and a pen to go with it. Some stitch markers that I ordered, and a little stitch, like a little notions tin from Stitchcraft and Wizardry as well. What else? Oh, minis. I sent her some minis. Marie actually sent me a free mini of this with my order that I did for Cass, and that's what inspired me to order 100 grams of it. But yeah, I sent her the little mini. I was going to keep it for myself, but then once I ordered the 100 grams, I was like, oh, I suppose I'll give Cass the mini. I sent her some minis and other bits and pieces, and I just really enjoyed the experience. So if you're ever considering doing something like that, a fibre swap or wool swap or something, just have a go. Like it costs, I think it cost me $8 or something to sign up for it. And buying the stuff for Cass didn't cost me that much either, because realistically I only bought her 200 gram skeins and some other little ends, bits and bobs, and they weren't that expensive. So it worked out beautifully, and you get the same back in value. So Cass sent me all of this to say, this is what I got for my wool swap. So Cass sent me this beautiful double Dutch sock in blueberry from Skiprope Yarn Co. And I obviously put in my thing that I love blues and purples and greens and whatnot, because I do. Blue is my favorite color. And look at it. I love this new, I'm seeing this trend around a bit lately with the black fibers already plied in, and then it's over dyed. And I think that's really cool. I can't wait to, well, first off, I'm going to enjoy winding it up because I really enjoy doing that. I don't know why. And seeing how this actually knits up. And I've already wound this one up because I'm about to start making it into another pull of wool over beanie. This is her Hunky Chunky. How cute of a name is that? In Periwinkle Twinkle. Hunky Chunky. It's a really cute way to say it's thick wool. It is so beautiful. I'm loving that at first because you're like, oh yeah, that's a pretty purple. No, it's not. Look, it has orange and pink and blue, and it is so pretty. Look at that. There's even like little bits of tealy color in there. I absolutely love it. Now, I was planning on using this to make a beanie for a friend's birthday, but there's a very good chance I will end up keeping it. I can't help it. It's so pretty, and it smells like spearmint because she sent me this beautiful spearmint soap in my package as well. I didn't bring all the yarn to show, I just brought you the yarn. But she sent me 2 different types of tea, which I'm very thankful for because I love tea. Some beautiful peppermint soap, some white artisan chocolate that my girls stole. So, but that's okay. I don't mind. They loved it. They said it was absolutely beautiful, and thank you. What else did I get in there? Oh, a beautiful hand-drawn or hand-painted, I'm not sure, card. It was absolutely stunning. Soap, chocolate, tea, yarn. It's just so pretty. If there's anything else, just jump on my Instagram and have a look, because I also did a reel showing what was in it, because how can I not share it with the world? It's absolutely stunning. If that's what I got from Cass. I've obviously spoken about this a couple of times already, but I ordered 100 grams of the Candy Fluff Kid Mohair Mulberry Silk from Marie at Obsession Yarns. Marie is absolutely delightful to deal with, guys. She is just one of my top 5 yarn dyers, I have to say. I do not a lot of ordering with her. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do way more ordering with her than what I do. But if I'm looking for something, she's one of the first I check out. Actually, at the moment, she is the first that I check out. So, yeah. Now, I've been... Oh. I had it sitting over here, ready to show you. Sorry for the crinkle. Because it's something Cass also sent me. My first ever lot of Ozifarmers Market. I had it sitting there because I wanted to show you guys, because it's in this beautiful blue, which I love. And it's been sitting in my Etsy cart for so long, and now I can take it out because Cass got it for me. So thank you, Cass. Yes, so this is it says Baltic, 50 grams in each one, so 100 grams altogether. 4-ply fingering weight, 168 meters to the 50 grams. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So that will be a pair of socks for moi. Obviously, being already done like this, I can knit matching socks, which is so cool. Like, that's such a clever idea. I love it. So thank you, Cass. Should have showed that with the Skiprope Yarn Co stuff, but because I had this sitting together, I totally forgot. I also decided that I wanted to try out some new yarn dyes. I've got a list that I'm trying to check off of yarn dyes I want to try out. And there's a couple of different things that make me decide if I like a yarn dye or not. Price isn't the number one factor. It does come into it though. Like, if I can get beautiful yarn for $27 for the 100 grams instead of $37 for the 100 grams, then yeah, I'm probably going to go more for the 27 one, just at the moment while I've just gone back to work. Obviously, as things pick up and we have more free money, I might reconsider splurging every now and then. I also like to check out if the website is easy to use. I don't know why, but websites are difficult to use, are a bit frustrating. What else? I also kind of like to look, obviously color is always a huge factor. I like certain colors and I tend to gravitate towards them. I also like to know a little bit about the yarn that I'm buying and the person that I'm buying it from. So I tend to follow them on Instagram, check out their posts, read on their website, see what they're all about. If they have a podcast, I'll check that out and see what they have to say. And one of the people that has been at the top of my list for a very long time is Hannah of Rosehip Island. She's Rosehip Island across all social media now. I think she's changed her name. She has even not restarted, but she's now doing the Rosehip Island video diaries on YouTube instead of the Rosehip Chick vlog or podcast. So yeah, she's Rosehip Island now. She was always Rosehip Island in her store, but for everything now she's Rosehip Island. I have had her at the top of my list because I know she likes to buy yarn from ethically sourced yarn, sorry. So I know she cares a lot about environmental impact and how animals are treated and stuff like that. So she has been at the top of my list for that reason, because that's a factor when I'm buying yarn. So she was having a sale on singles, possibly for Valentine's Day. I would have to double check that. But I thought, enough's enough. Crystal, you've been wanting to buy her yarn for so long. Just jump on and do it. Even if you just buy one. I think the problem was I've got a whole list of stuff that I would like to buy from Hannah. And I just had to resign myself to just buying the one thing. So I got this absolutely stunning merino single. It's 100% Australian superwash merino, and it is called Philippa, which is absolutely stunning. I also got a little plain stitch marker, which I absolutely love, because Hannah's from Tasmania. She's over a little sea from me, so that was just so perfect. Thank you, Hannah. I absolutely love my stitch marker. And she actually sent me a beautiful little note saying she thinks the skein could become something soft and beautiful, and I completely agree, because the yarn itself is soft and beautiful. There's just, I wish I could just hold it here and you could just reach through and squish, because it is absolutely beautiful and the colors are divine. This will be something for myself, I think, because I am trying to buy more yarn from just me. Now, the thing I love about Hannah is she doesn't just sell superwash merino. She also has some really beautiful and interesting fiber combinations in her yarn. So I really urge you to go over and check her out. Her yarn is absolutely stunning, and you can always read up a little bit about where her yarn stuff comes from, which I absolutely love. Or even just ask her if you're not sure. Hannah's great to talk about with those kind of things. I will be jumping on there soon. I would love to try out. She has some linen combinations and silk and stuff as well, so I want to check those out from her as well. I think she might even still have some hemp, but I would have to double check. So yeah, that's one from Hannah. And this one I got from Birdhouse Fibres. I think they might have also been having a sale. I can't remember, but I wanted some minis from them because I got a 100-gram skein for my birthday, and it's a beautiful purpley green one. And I originally went on there looking for some minis to match with it because I wanted to do like a contrasting heel, toe and cuff. And unfortunately I got sidetracked by these. This is the Dawn Till Dusk Squish Sock Minis. And I just I got brown dyes with my first lot of acid dyes I want to try, and I'm not too sure about how I feel about brown yarn. So when I saw this beautiful brown here, and to a lesser extent this one, because it does have bits of brown in it, I thought I'll grab this because the colors are all so stunning together, and it gives me a little mini to work with to see how I feel about brown yarn, how I would wear it, what I would do with it. And quite frankly, I think it's going to be a shawl, because I could just picture, honestly, maybe a bigger one of that with all of these put in with it, because together they are just all so stunning. I absolutely love it. And I got some free stitch markers to go with it. How beautiful is that? I had to double check my order and go, oh, did I order some stitch markers? Couldn't remember. But yes, they are absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love them. So thank you so much. And I even got this in my, so the Rosehip Island and the Birdhouse Fibres items arrived today. And I got this in my order as well. It's called Soak. A little citrus I can't talk today, sorry guys. Fresh squeezed clean modern care for fine fibres. So I've been using Earth Wool Wash, I think it's called, because it's basically the only one I can find that isn't over perfumed at Cowls and Woolworths, because I have sensitive skin, so I do have to be careful about what detergents come into contact with my skin. But yes, I'm excited to try this and see what it's like. So I'm sniffing it, see if I can smell through the packet, but you can't, but that's okay. I think that could be it for all the pretty new things that I have gotten, all the little goodies. I've been really mindful about not adding too much to my stash, but at the same time, I'm trying quite hard to knit through it at the moment. So yeah, even things like the beanie that I made that I'm not sure if I want to put the pom on, that I made from a Bendigo Woollen Mills yarn that I got right at the beginning of, same when I got the Nomad one that I used for my husband's beanie. This has been sitting in my stash since last year. It's one of the first yarns I bought when I decided I was going to start buying yarns just because I liked them and I wanted to try them. And it's been sitting there. I've been waiting for the perfect thing to use for it. And yeah, so I am literally trying to work through my stash and not buy things unless I really, really want them. It's, yeah, not going great. I really, really want a lot of yarn. I guess we are up to coffee and a yarn. So I don't feel like I have much to yarn on about today because I've kind of yarned on about it all throughout. It also feels a bit weird to be sitting here not drinking coffee. I'm hoping that we will start to see the start of autumn soon, which is our Australian fall, and see if we can start getting some cooler weather. I do love a 32-degree day, but we've had like 5 of them this week. I think we have another one tomorrow and then it starts to cool down again, which will be nice. My succulents are hardy little plants, but even 5 days in a row of 30-something degree heat's not doing wonders for them. So I am back to work again next week. It was really hard. I finally went back to work, not this week, but last week. Had 1 day of work because I am only available on a certain number of days at the moment because of my girls easing into childcare and before and after school care and stuff like that. But I loved it. I taught a grade 1 class and I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved the school so much. I went and talked to them about applying for their tutoring program that we're doing here in Victoria for kids that have fallen behind due to remote learning and COVID last year. And I actually got offered 2 more shifts at the same school with the same class for next week. And of course I said yes. And then I had the principal email me asking me if we could have a chat about me possibly doing the tutoring program. So I'll be doing that on Monday as well. And it's exciting. Like, I missed work so much last year due to COVID, and it was really rewarding being here with my girls and helping them out with everything. But at the same time, a big part of me was missing because I love being a teacher, and teaching young kids is not the same as teaching 20-something other kids, because I have a lot more patience for other kids than I do for my own. Mostly because as a mum, obviously you're an authority figure, but your kids know your limits and how far they can push you. And sometimes they'll push you that little bit further because they just feel like testing their boundaries that day. Whereas students know that the boundary is a lot lower. Like, my limits are a lot lower as a teacher, in that if they cross a certain line, it's not just me they get in trouble with. Like, there are other teachers they get, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically, teachers have more authority over children in the sense that it's like when you went to a relative's house, like your grandparents, something that you didn't see very often, you knew you had to be on your best behaviour. And if they told you off, you listened to them way more than you did your parents. So yeah, that's what being a teacher is like. Students tend to listen to you way more than what they listen to their own parents until they get really comfortable with you. And as a relief teacher, students don't tend to get that comfortable with me because I'm in and out and I'm around at different schools a lot. So they don't really get so comfortable with me that they can start pushing boundaries. They know they have to listen to me because I'm the teacher, and yeah, they'll get in trouble when their actual teacher comes back and they find out they didn't do what they were told. So they know they have to be on their best behaviour. And it's probably one of the best things about being a relief teacher, to be honest, knowing that the kids know they have to listen to you and they're not comfortable enough with you to not do as they're told. But at the same time, it's also one of the worst things about being a relief teacher because I miss that connection and that relationship with students. Like, it's nice to feel like a constant in a child's life, rather than someone that's just breezing in and out. It's tough sometimes. I love being a relief teacher because it means I get to teach and be flexible with my family life, but I also love being a permanent teacher because I love being a teacher. Simple as that. Reading. I have been doing so much reading lately. Oh my gosh. A lot on my iPad. So I have been working my way through the Bridgerton series. I have been letting myself read about one sibling each week. I made a mistake this week though. I accidentally just read about Hyacinth, who by the way is my favourite Bridgerton so far. And then I realised I had missed Francesca. What? Frustrating. I also really enjoyed Colin's story. So I enjoyed that one. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it gets made as the series go on. I don't know if they're going to do a series per sibling, because even in the books there are references. Like, I know basically what's happened to all the siblings so far because they make references to them throughout the story of a different story. So I knew what happened to, sorry, I'm just trying to think. If I had gone and read, what's his name? Not Anthony, the next one. I should know, it starts with B. Benedict. Reading Benedict's story, I knew what had happened already to Francesca because it was mentioned. Not like the whole story, but I know something that happens to her because it was mentioned. I know something that happens to Eloise because it was mentioned in Colin's story. Like, it's interesting. So I'm just interested to see how they do that with Netflix as well, the Netflix series. I also kind of love how different the series and the books are. Like, the general story's there, but they do change quite a bit. In the books, Daphne is charming and easygoing, but she's so charming and so easygoing and so friendly that the reason she doesn't get marriage proposals isn't because her brother scares them off. It's because they think of her as a friend. She's just one of the boys. That's not in the Netflix series at all. So yeah, that was just something really interesting. And they kind of really downplay the family relationships in the series. They are a very sweet, loving, close-knit family, the kind that like to really annoy each other. And I just feel like that's really glossed over in the series. Also, how much they all supposedly look alike in the books. Like, apparently you can tell just by looking at them that they're one of the Bridgertons. That does not come across at all in the series. So yeah. I have also been reading, what else did I read? Cruelty by Roald Dahl. Total blank there. I put a picture in here because I forgot to bring it with me. It is a collection of short stories, basically about acts of cruelty, I guess. They're not always, most of them are vindictive. They're not always harmful. Like, one of them is about a butler, that loves wine. Convinces his master to buy a ton of really expensive wine. His master's a bit of a douche. Turns out the butler and spoiler alert, turns out the butler and the chef have secretly been drinking it behind the master's back while feeding him really cheap Spanish wine because he couldn't tell the difference anyway. So there you go. So like, they're not always harmful. There are some that are absolutely horrific. One of them is from George's Marvelous Medicine, I think, or Danny, I can't remember. I'll have to double check that, but it's basically about a boy who ends up with swan wings tied to his arms, and it's horrible. I always hated that part of the book. But yeah, that's in there as well. There's quite a few funny ones, well, not funny, but like, I'm reading them and going, what? So it was a really interesting read. I also have, I don't have it up here. Yes, I do. Deception So this is why I put them up here, because now I'll be able to just get them. So my next one is deception. So this says, why do we lie? Why do we deceive those we love most? What do we fear revealing? In these 10 tales of deception, Roald Dahl explores our tireless efforts to hide the truth about ourselves. Here, among many others, you read about how to get away with the perfect murder, the old man whose wages end in a most disturbing payment, how revenge is sweeter when it is carried out by someone else, and the card sharp, so I'm assuming that's supposed to say card shark, the card shark so good at cheating he does something surprising with his life. So yeah, I can't wait to have a read of that one next. Might even start that this afternoon while I'm waiting to pick my kid up from school. So yes, I have quite a collection of books here. I have a bunch more in the cupboards. I even put my husband's books up there that we've been starting to collect for him. They're all biographies or autobiographies. He loves Jimmy Barnes, so he's gotten all his books so far. So yeah, one of my favorites is this. A friend of mine got it for me. My friend Mel. She's my high school friend who introduced me to my husband. They grew up together. Her and I went to high school together. She's godmother to my children. Her husband's godfather to my children. She's my sister, basically. Well, she's my sister. Simple as that. And she got me The Beauty and the Beast. This is the French one, but it's been translated. So it's translated from the original French. And it is amazing. I will read this again this year because it was just the most fascinating read. I could not put it down. And it has all these interactive things in the book. Like, how cool is that? Like, sorry, yeah, it does things like that. There's also, like, this story actually talks about how there's like windows and stuff for her to look through. And they show different things to entertain us. So some are the opera, some are plays, some are puppets, some are animals, like performing circus things, which obviously in this day and age we know is bad, but it's a book. So yeah, it shows the different windows with the different things behind it, which is very difficult to open. We don't have any nails. So yeah, there's all different things showing what she had to amuse her, because he basically just left her alone except for a few minutes of each day, and she was allowed to entertain herself, and there was all this magic in the castle and all this stuff, and it's a beautiful read. It is absolutely stunning, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, look at that. It's even got a beautiful map. I'm like, what books don't do this anymore? Unless it's a kid's book. Look at that, a map of the Fortunate Island. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And the story took twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, because I've never actually read the original story of Beauty and the Beast. Vastly different to the Disney experience, I have to say, which is not a criticism at all. I love the animated version. I love the live action remake. I love this version. So yeah, I'm hoping them all here I will read a lot more, because a lot of the time I just find myself staring at my iPad, which is not great, especially when you're trying to get to sleep. Thirsty. I think that could be it. I wasn't planning on this being long at all today. 40 minutes is normally good for us. We'll see what this ends up being with editing and stuff, but I will see you in not even 14 days. I will see you guys in like 10 or something like that. Hopefully, if things all go to plan, depending. I hope you all have a wonderful time with your crafting. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your time with me. I know time is precious, and it means so much to me that you've spent some of it with me. Until I see you guys again, I really hope you're looking after yourself physically, socially, emotionally. Just please, you're so special. Looking after yourself is so important, and so are you. Bye.